Welcome to Canada, eh? Sorry, I couldn't help it, sorry. This is Lake Okanagan to my left. I'm here for the Okanagan Gran Fondo. We're in a small town, I'm not gonna say remote, but it feels kind of remote. We're in a town called Penticton, which you have not heard of. We're about 4 hours from Vancouver, but this is home to one of the biggest cycling events in North America. I'm gonna spend the weekend up here and show you why. And I'll go for a KOM, fine, I'll go for a KOM. What I didn't know is that I would actually be doing 4 KOM attempts in addition to a challenging Gran Fondo. You'll see.
I'm Phil Gaimon. I was a pro cyclist for 10 years, racing all over the world. Now I'm retired, but I'm not done suffering on my bike, climbing mountains as fast as I can, and going on crazy adventures. I couldn't be the best at racing, and I'm definitely the worst at retiring. Welcome to Worst Retirement Ever.
I flew directly into Penticton, which is a super small airport, so I had to connect through Calgary. The trip wasn't too bad from Los Angeles. Then a little delay, I got in kind of late. The bike, on the other hand, well, you missed the connection again, didn't you? You missed a connection. What were you drinking at the bar? You just missed it? No, I don't want to hear your excuses. I don't want to hear your excuses. This guy hung out in Calgary for 24 hours, but that was a whole day. I had to wait on hold with the airline. You had me worried sick about you. Ended up on the late flight the next day, so someone had to go pick you up in the middle of the night. Little Operation Rescue Factor 02 VAM. But you're here, you're safe, no scratches. Didn't have to call Sunday's insurance. But now we got some rides to do. Well, look, no, of course, I'm sure you're tired. You're gonna have to rally. You'd better rally. So we're here for the Okanagan Gran Fondo, but I always like to find a climb, and the climb for this area is called Apex Mountain. Now there is a little Strava, I'm not gonna say, I don't like Strava drama, but I like Strava discussion, I like Strava debate. And so there's 2 segments that we were going back and forth with. One is all the way from Penticton. That segment is like an hour 20 plus. And then the other one is just Apex Road. So this is the last third of it. It's the KOM is 31 minutes. We're gonna do that one. I saw some names on the leaderboard of old friends of mine. It is 6.5 miles, 2,700 feet. Factor 02 VAM was on the road for a solid 48 hours. So no rest, no nap, just built her up this morning. Let's see how it goes. It started at this peaceful horse farm, but there was nothing else peaceful about it. So when I go for these segments that I've never attempted, I pace to beat the KOM. I'm looking at the fastest time, my power, my heart rate, and usually I can peck away at it. In this case, that did not happen for a number of reasons. 1, it is 95 degrees Fahrenheit. That doesn't help. 2, I just had 2 days off, 1 travel and 1 epic lost bicycle rescue mission, which sort of means that my heart rate goes high and I can't quite trust my physical sensations. And 3, this KOM is in the middle of nowhere, Canada, but is a lot more competitive than I expected. In previous years at this event, they had riders race up it, so those are a bunch of fast times from there. And then the KOM was recently smashed by this guy, Chris Ernst, who I had not heard of, but is currently at the Olympics. So about 6 minutes in, I was way up on his time, feeling good. Then I knocked the camera off my chest, which was sort of a distraction, but I kept it going. And then a minute later, I absolutely blew up and decided to stop, call that effort an opener, and try again tomorrow. It's socialized medicine here, right? I'm gonna rip back down this thing. I'm just kidding, let me get in the car. And anywhere you go, it's always good to try and learn a new language. So while we're driving down, I've noticed some Canada-isms, and a washroom instead of bathroom, which frankly, like when you go to a restaurant and you ask where's the bathroom, there's no bath in there. I'm not trying to take a bath, but I don't think washroom is accurate either. What other Canada-isms are there? Kendra, you had one.
Toque.
Toque. T-O-Q-U-E.
Correct.
Spelling bee champion, 5th grade. So it's like a beanie, like a wool hat, right? That is it. Not like baseball cap isn't a toque.
Mickey.
Mickey. And what's a Mickey?
It's a little, I don't know the size, but it's a little thing of alcohol.
It's not like a brand. It's not like Mickey.
No,
Mickey's
it's the
like
size.
cheap.
It's the size. Yeah.
Okay. A Canadian goose here is just called a goose.
We say roof. Like top of a building, like a house is a roof?
What do you think we say?
Roof.
Oh, that's what Okie says. Okie's the dog sitting next to me, by the way, not in the crowd. No, I say roof. That's probably a regional thing in the U.S. Roof would be like maybe in the southern accent. Oh, of course, there's sorry. Dunkin' Donuts translates to Tim Hortons.
Or how many Canadian cities can you name?
Vancouver, Edmonton, Montreal, Quebec, Lethbridge. I spent a lot of time in Lethbridge. Two of Alberta, Penticton. That's an easy one. Did I do Toronto? Video. Yeah, we can turn the AC on.
Okay, sounds good.
Sorry, we gotta stop rolling because it's too damn loud.
The dog's complaining.
Should I cut?
Yeah.
All right, cutting.
After the aborted KOM attempt, we went and did a little course recon to make some content for the Okanagan Gran Fondo.
Big thanks to Jody and the team at Okanagan Gran Fondo for having me out here.
Here are some drone shots that you should enjoy. There's Okanagan Lake, Skaha Lake, which feels like Tahoe. Then you go into the valley and it's all these vineyards and looks like Napa. Beautiful area to ride.
So Saturday morning we start with Athena's ride. Athena, can you tell us a little bit about the charity?
So basically it's a non-for-profit. All the funds go straight to the Desmoid Tumor Foundation.
Can you tell us what's a desmoid tumor?
So basically it's a tumor that's non-cancerous and it stays in the area where you were diagnosed with. So mine's in my knee and it'll stay in my knee, but it's your body producing scar tissue and your body doesn't tell yourself to stop producing the scar tissue.
Bodies can be dicks.
Yeah.
So it's not cancerous, but it's painful.
Yeah, so mine impedes on a bit of my function depending on how big they get. Definitely don't have full mobility of my knee, but riding is pretty good for me. It's all to raise awareness and find a cure because funds are so low and the awareness is so low because it's so rare. It's 1 to 2 in a million get diagnosed a year.
So it's so rare you'd have symptoms and they wouldn't even know to look for it, right?
Yeah. When I was first diagnosed, I was diagnosed with a sarcoma because they see a big lump in the back of your knee and they assume sarcoma.
All right, thank you. Thanks for hosting this ride. I'll put a link to the charity in the description there.
Thank you.
After hosting the ride, Athena took me to the kids' race. It was right along the waterfront. Basically, they went out to a cone and then turned around and raced back. Our job was to make sure they stayed on the correct side of the street and avoided head-on collisions with each other.
4, 3, 2, 1,
Yes, I wore the Cookie Monster head. Highlight was the parents running alongside, and this dirty look. Every kid got their name called by the legendary announcer Steve King. Then we drove back up to Apex for another attempt. Yes, I removed the Cookie Monster head, but it was hot anyway. Still, I figured my legs would be better. Before I get the comments, I was not drafting. This is what's called a zoom lens. I might as well have been drafting though, because the legs were better, but this time I only made it 11 minutes in, and I also blew up.
Well, what? Can't do it.
No, I think he's calling it.
Went back to the hotel feeling very defeated.
All right, it's failure 2. Congratulations, Penticton, you've cracked me.
The main event was the next morning. We had an early start to beat the heat, and I was able to appreciate this enormous pack, 2,000 plus riders. Not sure I've ever been in a group that size.
Is this the line from Metallica? No? Fondos are always early starts, so the good news is we've got Pink Weasel Coffee Company. Curtis here. Curtis, is Pink Weasel a euphemism?
Yeah. No, it's a true thing. Right here, Ricardo.
It's not a euphemism. It is not a euphemism.
not.
Curtis, where did we first meet?
Mexico.
7 years ago. Okay.
that?
We're getting.
Yeah,
How do
it
I
had to
look?
do
Do I
with-
look old?
No, you look
great.
You look faster.
Okay. So yeah, I got my own, the KOM cookie blend.
Look at that,
Super cop, baby.
Three, two, one, right.
Riders away. There we go. Our lead lines is now.
The course started with this lovely road around the lake. I did not know the chest camera was on, but obviously I liked this part and wanted to get it in the video, so here, note the background on my phone. And there's the shot. Nice work, Phil. The pace was peaceful until we made a left turn off of the lake. I didn't know there was a KOM, but at some point I'd started on my Wahoo, so I guess here I go. Now, unlike the San Antonio event where I was here to win, this time my job is to just make a video, but I also can't help myself if a sign says KOM. So the way I do it is I don't believe in attacking anymore or flicking elbows trying to make the other guy pull through.
Go, Phil, go! Woo! You got it!
So I ride my best pace, I sprint to the top, and if you can come around me, you get it. That means I lost this KOM to Brad Bickley, super nice guy from the team West Coast Gunners, nearby town Kelowna.
Nice sprint.
Also on the ride was Rob Watson from Vancouver. Might remember him from the Mount Baker episode. World-class runner turned cyclist. Super strong, super nice. I don't think I have to say nice. Everyone in Canada is nice. It was also pleasant to hang out with Swain Tuft. This dude is a legend. He was doing epic Lachlan shit before Instagram, not even telling anyone about it. Like, I think the first I heard of him, he was behind on training, so he rode to training camp in Solvang or Santa Barbara from, like, Alaska. Didn't tell the team, he just showed up with, like, a trailer, and they were like, you did what? He's now 46, lives near here, he does camps, and he just set a new record for a 1,000-kilometer gravel event. He was telling me he was sleeping in an emergency blanket. Like, I've played hurt and broken most of my bones, and generally, like, I feel like a tough guy, but this dude is cycling's Chuck Norris. The front group was doing the thing where dudes had bottles in their pockets, planning to not stop at all. I only started with 2 bottles of First Endurance. When I packed for this trip, I heard, oh, Canada, put a puffy jacket in the bag, and then like, day before I left, I actually looked at the forecast, like 95 degrees, like same as LA almost. So I took that puffy jacket out. Got about 100K in. I was finally out of water, so I stopped at an aid station, and I'm now by myself just about. Whole pack left me. I thought I'd have a few friends who also wanted hydration, but no. Beautiful valley down here. Also, like Napa, you can see some fire damage. There we go. I found some friends for the last 40K. The second group came up. It was nice to be in a group, and they were more my pace at this point. Next, we cruised past some radio telescopes. Nerd alert, this is the half-assed Wikipedia research section. There are 4 radio telescopes. There's an interferometric radio telescope, a 20-meter single-dish antenna, a solar flux monitor, and the Canadian Hydrogen Intensity Mapping Experiment. My best understanding here is this is used to measure and map the universe, distance from one star to the other, etc. It's named for John Galt, first employee and director of this facility, not John Galt from Atlas Shrugged. From the telescope, it was mostly downhill, flat. There you go. Nice to ride through Main Street, Penticton to the finish. God, look at all those bikes. At the finish, of course, there's food and drink. There's a whole beach and water park. A lot of folks jumped in the lake to cool off. There's also a peach festival in town. Just wanted to mention that. Shout out to my security team. Overall, Okanagan Grand Fondo was a very well-organized event, nice people, great roads. The long route was 150 kilometers, 94 miles, so a big day but not intimidating, and there were shorter options. Overall, great part of the world to experience on a bike. This is a woman-run event. Finally, I caught up with Jody Cross, former pro and total badass herself. Okay, here with Jody. You're in charge of this whole mess. Thank you so much. How do you feel? It's over.
Completely flippin' exhausted.
But everyone's smiling,
yes.
And it's your fault.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Ride hard,
awesome
smile
work. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. It was great having you.
Easy. It seems like the video is done, but I was not done. So it's Monday morning. My flight leaves in 3.5 hours. I wanted to win this weekend. I wanted to win. No time for recon, barely a time for intro.
Let's do it. I would have loved to give Apex a try under better conditions with better legs, but that was not to be. This segment is closer to town, therefore more attempted by locals, and less likely to miss my flight. 5 miles, 8%. Sadly, there were no moose sightings. My legs haven't been great lately, I need a little rest, but I felt better than expected during the event itself, and better on this climb than I had the rest of the trip. Also, there's not a bunch of pros on the leaderboard, which always helps. Big thanks to Dion and Kendra, where's Kendra? And Oki the dog in the back seat for enabling my weird, I don't even know what you call this. Is it sad? My KLM hunting. I appreciate your effort. I gotta hurry up to the airport. You, don't miss your flight this time, all right? Not dealing with it. I'm not driving to LAX. Penticton I can drive to. LAX, you're on your own. Might never see you again. All right, see ya. Thanks.